How do you avoid burnout? We've all been there, and if you haven't been there, you might be heading there. I'm going to give you 7 tips today on how you can overcome burnout so that you can keep going in your business. So stick around. Hey, Tanya Jennings here from Your Economy Lab. I help entrepreneurs live a life of freedom online and bring in that passive income. Today, I want to talk about burnout. And look, if you haven't been there, it's not pretty, but I've got 7 tips today for you on how you can overcome that. So let's get into it. 7 tips to avoid burnout. Number 1 is check the belief in your company. And if you don't believe 100% in what you're selling or what you're doing, it leads to burnout because you're talking to people, you don't want to talk about the business. Or maybe you're talking about the business and they ask you some curly question like, oh yeah, I don't really know. And it starts eating you up inside because you're fighting with it. So you need to be 100% belief in the company and belief in yourself. You start not believing in yourself and it spirals down. You spiral down into burnout mode. Because it comes across, if you're not 100% about it, people can sense that. And they go, oh, well, if you're not too sure about it, and they can feel the passion. And if they feel that, they go, oh, yeah, I want some of that. And they want to come on board. But if you're like, oh, I don't know, they can feel that too. So that is a form of burnout. Number 2 is change your perspective. And I want you to do an exercise. Think about where your life is right now. So think about where your life is right now, whether you've got a car, you've got a job, you've got a house, you've got a beautiful family. Think about where things are and imagine them 5 times worse. So if my life was 5 times worse than it is now, think about what would you still be grateful for? So think about that. Think about, okay, well, if it's 5 times worse, maybe you don't have a car, you don't have a job, maybe you're going through a rough patch and you're getting divorced. Think about things that are 5 times worse and think about how you can find gratitude in your life, because perspective is everything. And I thought this was interesting. Do you know that kings and queens we have more than kings and queens currently do in medieval times? So kings and queens back in medieval times, we have more than they do. We've got most of you would have clean drinking water, plumbing, electricity, TV, cell phone, Wi-Fi. You are living better than kings and queens did. So take time to write a list of 50 things that you're grateful for and have 25 of those things be business related and 25 of them be personal related. And then you can really look at it and go, yeah, I'm grateful for everything that I've got. And it gives you a new perspective, because sometimes we're there, and I know I've been there. Like when I was 8 years ago, I was homeless. And I remember, and I've told this story numerous times, sitting on my girlfriend's floor and just looking up going, geez, how am I going to get out of this? I was like, I'm not grateful for anything because, I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. I didn't have anything. I just left my husband, my cheating husband. I was like, oh, I was broken. And you just focus on that. You focus on what you're broken, the broken bits, and you go, oh no, everything's crap. But when you sit back and you go, okay, what am I grateful for? And you go, okay, well, I'm grateful for my health. I've got, great friends, family, whatever it is around you, you can start going, okay, I'm going to get out of that. And it changes your perspective on how you're living your life, because you are then grateful. And it's a way to actually get out of burnout, because you look at it and you go, okay, well, I know that I can get out of this. Things aren't as bad as I think they are, and you can move forward with it. But you really want to dig deep and really dig deep on what you're grateful for, because that's going to shift your perspective. Number 3, and this is a big one, is look at your surroundings. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I looked at that back when I was 30, I sat down and I looked at people I was spending my time with, and a lot of them were just sponging off me. We'd go out for dinner and I'd pay for dinner, I'd pay for drinks, and they were just like, oh, I forgot my card or didn't have money, and they were just drinking all the time, smoking all the time. And I just went, you know what? No, this isn't life. I don't want to be around these types of people. So when I was 30, I cut 10 good friends out of my life. I just went, nah, bye-bye. And it was hard to do, but I had to do it. It wasn't the life I wanted to live. They weren't on the same level as me going where I wanted to go. And you need to look at it and go, okay, who are you spending the time with? What are you doing? Where and how? Look at it and go, okay, are they adding value to my life? Because if they're not, then you need to go, nah. It's not a thing of comparing yourself to other people and them being horrible to you. And if people are like that, you just go, I don't need you in my life. I don't need to be belittled. And, people feeling that feeling of, oh, I don't want to share things. I want to share things with people that are excited for me and their success. And I'm excited for them. Like, I've got some great friends that are very successful, and, we share ideas and things because you're excited for them and you want to be like that. You want to be around people that are like that. So when I start feeling burnout, I look at social media as well, and I go, okay, who is on my social media that may not be the person I want to be hanging around with? And you just cut people out. And I know it is hard, but you need to block certain people. Things like that, you go, okay, you don't want to be around people like that. So sit down and go, okay, who are you around? Because if you're around people that are going to drain you, they will suck the life out of you. I'm telling you now. And, it is hard. As I said, it's hard to cut people out, but you need to do that for your own sanity. It just drains you. Number 4 is release what you can by doing the things you love outside of business. So make sure that you're taking downtime. And I always talk about this is, looking after yourself and doing things that you love. Because sometimes when you're in business, you can just be like, you might be working full time and you come home and you're like, I've got to get this business going. And you're just focused. You're not enjoying life. And before you know it, life has passed you by. So make sure that, you're having date night with the other half. You're spending time with the kids. You're doing things that you enjoy, because that's all about self-preservation as well and looking after yourself. Number 5, personal development. So what you focus on grows. And I've always talked about this with personal development. Don't get stagnant in your growth. And you see this too when people start having success. Work on this and continually work on the business. Always investing in yourself. And I love this is the la principle. You're going, what the hell is la? Listen, apply, learn, action. That's la. So listening, so whether you're listening to a podcast, you're listening to a YouTube video, whatever you're listening to, or you're reading, you're applying what you're learning it more. So you're actually learning it, and then you're taking action. So listen, apply, learn, and action. I love that. That's the la principle. Number 6, but massive action is not supposed to be consistent. And that's why they do a 90-day run, is because it's bursts of energy. It's bursts in 90 days or it's a month, whatever it is. It's a burst of energy, and then you're having a rest. And I know people go, oh, no, it's the hustle, it's the grind. And Gary Vaynerchuk talks about that, like if you're not hustling and grinding, then you're not doing anything. It doesn't have to be a hustle and grind all the time. You need to take time off. Look, I love massive action. But the best way to move your business forward, as I said, is to do these 90-day runs. And you're getting the whole team in momentum there as well then. And the last one is number 7, is building boundaries, setting boundaries, because if you don't, you're just a firefighter putting out fires everywhere. You're doing everything for them. You're going to just burn yourself out very, very quickly. Is making sure that, you're looking after your team, but they're responsible for their business. So I hope that helps. The other thing is always doing your income producing activities, always taking action, but always taking breaks, unless you're on a 90-day run. So, good exercise is to dissect your day and go, okay, what am I actually doing with my day? Because there could be stuff in there that you're going, yeah, well, I shouldn't be doing that. And you can work out, re-engineer how you're spending your time. I think live events too, it really gives you the momentum and the motivation. I know myself, when I've come away from a live event, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to, rock the world. You get all excited. If any one of you, like if you've been to a Tony Robbins event, and you're there and you're jumping around for 4 days in a row, and you come back and you're just on top of the world. But yeah, it is awesome. And it's great to be able to meet the leaders, meet the team members, meet other people, and exchange ideas about things, because you want to help everyone. You want to see everyone succeed. We're back next week with some more training.